Hello, BookTube. We have another mail haul, and this one was dropped off on the front porch by a newbie because it's still in its plastic container. Whereas Tom from Tipperary, my usual or United States Post Office truck driver, rings the bell, but then he knows to wait. He knows that I'm here. I might not have pants on at the moment, but he knows I'm going to want to come out and chat with him a little bit, like two County Kerry housewives over the back fence. This person knew. Just thought, oh, it's a crate full of stuff. I'll just drop it here. So he rang the bell and took off. So I have a crate to deal with. I'm trying to keep these to a minimum. I'll give Tom a stack of them next time he's here. But in the meantime, I thought we'd go through this. We'll start with this first one, which is very light. Could be a mass market, and if it's a mass market, it could be a romance. We're slowly building a library right there behind me under the octopus of romance novels. It's fine by me. I want all of them, and I don't get all of them. Let's see here. Oh, it is a romance novel. What a striking cover. Okay, it's by Sidney Landon. It's called Room for Two, the Breakfast in Bed series. Look at that. Can you make out the details? That is a lovely cover. And it's unusual, too, which romance novels, the problem is that their covers tend to be very much of a muchness. But that is nice. That is very nice. All right, so what have we got here? When Asher Jackson, the Playboy co-owner of the Oceanix Hotels, first meets Dana Anders, manager of a gourmet coffee shop in one of his resorts, he longs to strike up a good rapport with her, but much to his surprise, his typical charms fail him. Even though Dana is secretly attracted to Asher, he obviously wants nothing to do with her until they strike a mutually beneficial arrangement. For a reasonable fee, the financially strapped Dana will pose as Asher's girlfriend to drive away the bitter women who are making his life miserable. What on earth? She's his employee. Oh, all right. This is going to be fancy dancing to keep it from being objectionable. But when the line between false animosity and real attraction becomes blurred, both will begin to realize that the one thing they really want is what they've always pretending to have. Okay. All right. But he can fire her. So that becomes very dicey. We'll have to see how the author pulls it off. If she were the manager of a gourmet coffee shop across the street from one of his properties, that would be different. But let's see here. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. All right. The next one's a thriller. This comes out real soon, the end of January. It's a finished copy. It's Meg Gardner, Into the Black Nowhere, an unsub novel. Unsub, I believe, there was a TV show, was it Criminal Minds, where I swear to God, every character said the word unsub at least 50 times in each episode. If you made a drinking game out of it, half the college students in the country would be dead. But despite the fact that they said it all the time, I don't think I remember what an unsub actually is. I think it's will this actually tell me what it is? It might not. Into the Black Nowhere, the author hunts Caitlin. Caitlin Hendricks is now an FBI profiler as she faces off against a merciless killer inspired by Ted Bundy. Bundy terrorized young women across America in the 1970s, using his good looks and charm to win their trust and lure them away from public places before overpowering and assaulting them. He eventually confessed to more than 30 homicides committed in 7 states, but his true victim count remains unknown and may be much higher. Read about the Bundy killings, it is certainly much higher. In this novel, Caitlin hunts a similar charismatic killer who kidnaps women in southern Texas on Saturday nights, snatching them in plain sight from movie theaters and street corners without leaving a trace of evidence. She and her team discover 2 of his victims' bodies in the woods, laid out in white nightgowns and surrounded by haunting Polaroid photos. To track the unsub... Oh, and here it's unidentified subject. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Caitlin must get inside his mind. Why? Why not just call it a suspect? Why? 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 Why do you tag it on and then abbreviate it to unsub? Oh, my God. She must get inside his mind. How does he select his victims? What drives him to kill, and where will he strike next? All right, so you know what kind of thing this is. It all depends on how the author, Meg Gardner, does it. You know that it's a serial killer thriller, and that's a sub-genre of its own. Can be very good. Let's see what this next one is. It's from Grey Wolf Press. Very brainy press. Far more Sam Sachs's line of country than mine. Oh, it's poetry. Tony Hoagland. Priest turned therapist treats fear of God. That is the name. It's a slim volume of poetry. Don't really do much with poetry, but we'll see. I'll give it a try. And this next one is going to require scissors, I think. Fortunately, they're right here to hand. You always want a pair of scissors handy when you live and die by packages. So that you're not, especially if you're doing it on camera, the last thing you want to do on camera is to go, and edit jump cuts are awful. Editing booktube videos is awful. So nothing comes between you and me, baby. Let's see here. Oh my. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my. All right, this is, wow. Okay. Wonderful. This comes out in May. It's by Joyce Lee Malcolm, and it is The Tragedy of Benedict Arnold, An American Life. From Pegasus Books. Did not know this was coming. Wow. Wonderful. Fantastic. This is a vivid and timely re-examination of one of young America's most complicated figures, the war hero turned infamous traitor. History remembers this proud, talented, and conflicted man solely through the lens of his last desperate act of treason. Yet the fall of Benedict Arnold remains one of the Revolutionary period's great puzzles. Why did a brilliant military commander who repeatedly risked his life fighting the British, was grievously injured in the line of duty, and fell into debt personally funding his own troops, ultimately become a traitor to the patriot cause? Say it with me now. Money! No mystery about that. Money! Wow, so this is a fresh biography. Fantastic. Boy, oh boy. All right, I am there. I am on board. Fantastic. Great. All right, so we're doing fine here. This one is also skinny. If this is a second slim volume of poetry in one mail haul, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh my God, it is. This is another slim volume of poetry. This is by Carl Phillips, and it's called Wild is the Wind. It's 2 slim volumes of poetry. Who's Carl Phillips when he's at home? He's the author of 13 previous books of poetry, including one that won the Penn Center USA Literary Award and the Lambda Literary Award. And he teaches at Washington University in St. Louis. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll read it. It certainly is lovely, but I don't know what to do. I will send these things to someone who will know better what to do with them than I do. It's the best way to do things. Let's see here. This one is thin as well. This is yet more poetry. Good Lord. This comes out in early February, so we're coming up on it. Oh, great. Okay, no poetry. Thank God. This is Francis Pryor. This is a book about Stonehenge. Story of Sacred Landscape. I trust that all of you have been to Stonehenge. I have been to Stonehenge. I have been to Stonehenge with beagles. Something like that. But I haven't read a book on Stonehenge in quite some time, so this will be fun. Great, and it comes out soon. So, and then this is the last one. Last one in our mail tub. Just to drop off the tub and let me sort it out. Okay, this is. I don't know what this is. This is not anything I requested. This also comes out in early February, right around the corner. It's The Strange Order of Things: Life, Feeling, and the Making of Cultures, by Anthony Damasio, who is a university professor, the David Dornsife Professor of Neuroscience, Psychology, and Philosophy, and director of the Brain and Creativity Institute at the University of Southern California. Good Lord. He's received numerous awards. Good Lord. A whole string of awards. He is the author of Descartes' Error, The Feeling of What Happens, Looking for Spinoza, and Self Comes to Mind, all of which have been published in translation and are taught in universities throughout the world. Well, that's a big deal. So, what is this, though? The cover jacket copy refers to him as one of our preeminent neurologists. This book is a path-breaking investigation into homeostasis the condition that regulates human physiology within the range that makes possible not only survival, but also the flourishing of life. The author makes clear that we descend biologically, psychologically, and even socially from a long lineage that begins with single living cells, that our minds and cultures are linked by an invisible thread to the ways and means of ancient unicellular existence and other primitive life forms, and that inherent in our very chemistry is a powerful force, a striving toward life maintenance that governs life in all its guises, including the development of genes that help regulate and transmit life. In this book, the author gives us a new way of comprehending the world and our place in it. Inherent in our very chemistry is a powerful force, striving towards life maintenance that governs life in all its guises. Okay. Wow. All right. So this could be fairly deep water. I will have to take a deep breath before we get into this. Now I'm going to have to do it soon. This is a February release, and February is right around the corner. It's 2 weeks away. Okay, so that's it. That is our mail tub mail haul here. So this is The Strange Order of Things. It's about homeostasis. A whole book on homeostasis. And then a new book on Stonehenge. Wild is the Wind, a slim volume of poetry. And then another slim volume of poetry, Priest Turned Therapist Treats Fear of God. Then Tragedy of Benedict Arnold, a new biography of Benedict Arnold, clearly the Steve book of the day. Into the Black Nowhere, an unsub novel. And Room for Two by Sidney Landon for another romance. We're getting a romance in almost every mail shipment. Steve could not be happier. Although this one doesn't have a pub sheet, so I don't have anybody to thank for it. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will relent and see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.